Dave, there are some places when we're traveling to some of the most haunted places in the world to film for Paranormal Quest that as we're driving through, we can't help but stop and visit.
Yes, it is. This place is just iconic. If you have spent any time in the paranormal field at all, you have heard of this place.
Yeah, so even though we're not going to get to investigate overnight here tonight, which we're hoping to get to do here in the near future, but we're hoping to take you inside the walls of the Ohio State Reformatory to see what it looks like during the day, to experience the prison in all of its beauty, and hopefully, possibly, capture some sort of paranormal activity on camera while we're inside the prison. So this is gonna be a lot of fun.
It is. I'm excited to get in there, see what happens, and maybe we can pull out some of the equipment and sneak in a quick session somewhere.
If we can find a quiet spot, we'll turn on the spirit box, turn on the ghost tube, maybe set up the REM pod, see what we can capture.
Sounds like a good time. You wanna head in?
I'm more than ready.
Oh yeah.
Let's go in.
Let's do it.
In 1867, Mansfield, Ohio was chosen as the site for the brand new State Intermediate Penitentiary, a prison that was originally intended to house young, first-time offenders who were too old for the boys' school in Lancaster, Ohio, but not yet mature enough for the state penitentiary in Columbus. But due to the constant evolution of corrections theory of the time, the Intermediate Penitentiary would change its name in 1891 to the Ohio State Reformatory, with the goal to focus less on punishment and more on reforming the criminals. But it was in 1886 that the first 150 inmates were brought to Mansfield, and until 1910, they'd focus on the construction of the prison itself. The building was designed by architect Levi Tucker Schofield and features 3 beautiful and distinct architectural styles: Queen Anne, Victorian Gothic, and Richardson Romanesque. The reformatory remained open until 1990, when it was closed due to overcrowding and inhumane living conditions. In all of its years of operation, at least 215 inmates and 2 guards died inside the walls of the Ohio State Reformatory. Tour guests, paranormal investigators, and staff all experience what they believe to be paranormal activity.
So we are now inside the Ohio State Reformatory, one of the most haunted prisons in the United States of America. And even though it's during the day and there are other people roaming about the prison, we're really excited to get in here and check out the inside of this prison, because we have huge plans to come back here in the near future and do a paranormal investigation. And if you want us to do that, let us know down in the comments below. If you want to see us stay the night here at the Ohio State Reformatory, leave us a comment down below and tell us. For right now, we're gonna roll on Ghost Tube and then later on do a spirit box session once we find a nice quiet spot that's notoriously haunted, to see what we can pick up on this preliminary daytime investigation of the Ohio State Reformatory. You ready, Dave?
I am ready. I'm excited for this. It's been a long time since we've been here, and this place is super haunted, so.
It is. Rolling on Ghost Tube. Let's see what we get.
Many people know of the Mansfield Reformatory as Shawshank Prison from the 1994 film, The Shawshank Redemption. And in fact, if it weren't for the prison being chosen to represent Shawshank, it may not even be here to see and tour today. It's because of this that the tours very strongly feature the sets and props from the film itself.
Oh, look at that. Right over here.
Nice.
This is the room that they used to film the Shawshank Redemption, the hotel room at the Brewer Hotel. So it's weird to think about that. When they film the Shawshank Redemption, they make it seem as though that's that scene where Brooks takes his own life is in an entirely different place than the prison sequences are filmed, but in reality it was just in this room over here.
Yeah.
And right up here, I believe this is a recreation. The original, I think, is behind glass inside there, a Shawshank display
They're here.
We are here. I love all the different decades of paint and stuff that you can see on the wall.
Yeah, quite literally, people talk about the energy soaking into the walls from the inmates that lived here and the things that happened here, but you can see the history with your eyes. You don't need to do a paranormal investigation to experience the history of these places. It's so fascinating to get out and take tours of historical places and to see firsthand just the story, the lives that were contained behind these walls. So,
Yeah.
but there's a huge difference between penitentiary and reformatory. We've investigated quite a few penitentiaries, but when the reformatory style of correctional facilities came out, it was meant to be something much different than what, say, a penitentiary or a prison was meant to do. A reformatory was meant to do just that, reform the criminals out of their life of crime. So they put a very strong emphasis on work, labor, education, things that were going to help break the cycle of the criminal behavior.
Uncomfortable.
Interesting. And those are the types of things that we see in here. We've seen nothing but administrative rooms and classrooms here so far. And that's a huge contrast to what we're used to seeing in the prisons that we've investigated and visited before. And that's because of that, they put a huge emphasis on that here. So,
Yeah, the type of places that we're used to going to, they just throw you in the cell, slam the door shut, and that's it. They don't care. But here it seems like they actually tried to care. You know, like you said, they tried to reform them.
yeah. But this is the dividing line. The chapel is the separating point between the administrative and the cell blocks. So when we go through the chapel here, we're going to end up finally walking into where the inmates would have lived.
Yes. And the chapel is also known to be very paranormally active as well.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
oh wow.
This is cool.
This is very cool.
Take a look at this picture right here of what it would have looked like to give you a contrast with all the chairs and everything. And you look back towards this wall and you would have had actually a balcony. You can see where the balcony used to be right here behind Dave. And a big pipe organ.
Too cool.
Here we go,
Here we go.
into the cells. Starting at the top tier.
Oh, we are? Mm-hmm. I forgot just how high up this is.
Yeah. I mean, you look down this way and it just goes, and there's a reason why there's bars, because if you fell from this, you'd be dead. Other prisons that have 2 tiers, 3 tiers, 4 tiers, you fall from it, you're going to get injured. But from this, if you fall from this 6th tier, you're done. You're dead.
Yeah, absolutely. You would be toast. Okay, so we're now walking onto tier 6 south side.
Look at this. This is wild. Look how long it is, too.
Wow.
If there's any inmates in here, or just passing through, I'm sure you see people walk through here all day, every day. But if you'd like to talk to us, you can.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to come back here and film a full episode.
I know. Me too.
Cemetery.
Cemetery.
Organ.
Organ. We just came from the chapel.
Yeah, we were talking about the organ in there.
We were. Coincidental, probably. We don't want to be those people that jump to the best possible conclusion, but it could be coincidence.
Yeah.
Because if it was related to the chapel, why would it not say it in the chapel?
Right.
We might as well try this.
Let's do it.
Is there someone here with us?
Are there any inmates up here with us? You can use that device right there to speak to us. I thought I heard it say, "Hey, Dave."
It kind of sounded like it, didn't it?
Yeah. You can use that device right there to speak to us.
How do you know our names? My name is Ryan and this is Dave, but
Which cell number was yours? Oh, did you hear that? Cell something.
tell us what number.
We just happen to be standing outside of lucky number 13 here.
Coincidence? Let's keep walking down.
Yeah.
Just a dead.
Dead.
Did you hear that? It said dead. Just a dead.
Dead.
Just a dead.
Dead.
Did you hear that? It said dead.
Pod.
What is it?
Pot.
That was weird.
Dark. Close.
Dark. Close.
That was weird because it sounded like it said paint the something for me, and it was all the same voice that came through.
Really?
Yeah, it was really weird.
Inmate Collins.
Can you tell us what it was like to live here? We're not guards or anything. We're just here to talk to you. If you're an inmate and you're here and you're left behind, we're just here for some conversation.
Say sad. What did you do to end up in here?
The side that doesn't have as many windows, that's not the exterior wall side, is very, very dark.
Yes, it is.
Even in the daytime.
Oh,
Could even go night shot in here.
yeah, you probably could.
Here comes someone.
Is it a tour?
I don't know.
We may have to duck in a cell.
We may.
Hell.
Hell.
Say hell.
Hell.
Stay.
Stay.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Anything creepy in here?
When I walked in here, it said stay.
Did it really? Mm-hmm. Interesting. Maybe this would be a good place to set up a REM pod.
Maybe.
So you walked in here because there was people walking down the tier and it's not wide enough for two people to walk by, and when you ducked into this cell, the ghost tube said stay?
Yes. After it said hell.
After it said hell?
Yes.
Did you say I'm dead?
Yeah, I think it did.
If there's anyone in here and you told Dave to stay and you just told us you're dead, can you touch that red light? If you could touch that, I'm sure you've seen it before, the lights will turn on.
Dead.
No way.
The spirit box said I'm dead, and then the ghost tube said dead. Can you touch that red light for us, please? It's on the top bunk.
You came through and said stay. Can you touch that if you want us to stay? Did you hate how dark it was in here?
Asylum. Janitor.
How long were you in here? You told us to stay, but now you're not saying anything. So we're gonna go here in a minute. Leave?
Someone said leave.
Do you want us to leave? If you do, touch this thing right in front of me here.
Close. That's a please.
Oh, maybe it did. Let's walk out here for a sec.
Okay. That was weird. It said miss him.
I just saw a light go off down there.
Oh, yeah.
It was on.
That light was on.
As soon as I stepped out and looked down there, it went off.
So oddly enough, we were... Oh, there it went. It just turned back on. Okay. So we found out the culprit of that. It's just a bad ballast, just like a lot of these buildings have, but it was kind of creepy because Dave looked straight down here and that light went off. But, you know, we know all about how some of these buildings can have bad ballast sometimes, so...
So you think that it was just a bad ballast?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I walked down there and it turned back on, and then it turned off again, and then it turned back on.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just the lights are on bad ballast. These ballasts are so old that...
Hey, Ryan, make sure in post you add a debunked on screen.
What, like this one right here?
Yes.
Stay on.
Imagine being the person who gets to change those light bulbs.
Yeah, look at the spider webs coming down off of them.
It ain't gonna be me. I'll tell you that right now.
You think Dave would change that light right there, guys, with those spider webs hanging off of it?
I'm sure they probably all live up in there, too.
Let me switch hands.
Institution.
Institution.
It's the first thing it's said in a long time. This is inmate Cox. That's what it says.
I like how you just scream that, like the first thing. We're keeping our voices down. That's the first thing you scream as loud as you can.
Leave it to me.
What? Is there someone down there? I don't know. One of those pieces of wood just moved down there.
That's really weird. So here we are at the end of our tour at Mansfield.
Yeah. The Ohio State Reformatory is a historical giant. And if anyone is traveling through the state of Ohio and you want to see not just the historical relevance of this prison, but you want to see the architecture of it, or if you want to see some Hollywood history with the Shawshank Redemption, come visit Mansfield Reformatory or the Ohio State Reformatory. You will not be disappointed.
No.
And you may just experience something on your walk through here, or see something that you can't explain, or feel something that you can't explain. But until next week, guys, we're going to be back next week with a full-length episode of our investigation of possibly one of the most haunted places that we've been in years. We just filmed it last night, and we're excited for you to see it.
Absolutely.
So hit that like button, and if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you guys next week.
You know what they say.
What do they say, Dave?
Get busy living or get busy dying.
That's goddamn right.